do you think will be the trolley item today?
Ooh, the troll item. Ooh, probably the hammer. I'm gonna say the hammer.
Well, we start out with 20 rupees in the sanctuary, a little spending money to start the game.
We got immediately some divergence. We got Jim and Bulain heading off to do the Kakariko check.
We had a couple of map checks as well. I saw a pendant, I think it was the green, but I'm not sure, at Eastern Palace. And I saw crystal number 4 at Desert Palace. I'm not sure what was at here. I didn't catch that.
Tower Hair is a red pendant.
Excellent. 2 pendants in the overworld. It's almost vanilla.
We got bombs on the tier 1 tree pole. That's interesting.
And it looks like ETM found a bomb by picking up bushes there, so he has his bomb anyway.
Well, let's see what our Aghanim item is today. It is... I did not catch that.
I missed it too.
Looks like it might have been a piece of heart.
ATM looks like was farming bombs. He now has 4 of the bombs ready to use for the different stops in Kakariko Village.
Bulain picking up the bolt going out of the Lost Woods, so that's one item that he doesn't have to worry about this run. And the ice rod out of the Forest Thieves hideout.
And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, Ether was located in the Lost Woods.
Mm-hmm. We saw Bulain pick that up, and I'm sure Jim's about to pick it up.
He just did pick it up, actually. And that's the fire rod, or the ice rod? Looked like a fire rod to me. It is the ice rod, okay. And we're now getting our first look at Hyrule Castle on Bulain's screen. We found a full heart container, some extra life in the first chest. And the uncle produces his last bit of spending money. We have Des Boots.
Oh, gotta go fast. And good place to find him, too, early on.
In the chicken hut.
We got Jem making his blind hut check. So let's see. Jem making a blind hut check, Edium checking in the well. Ooh, the power glove.
And he also found the mushroom, so we could have a little item hiding over there as well.
Could be, or could be useless. But that moon pearl in the bottom of the well certainly isn't going to be useless today.
Yep, that moon pearl is always needed. Very, very useful item there. Now, of course, that witch's hut is going to be on the runners' minds throughout this entire game now until they get over there, I think.
Yep. We don't quite have logical Dark World access, but we're getting pretty close to the Moon Pearl and the Power Glove.
The question is what's going to be in the cave over here. Bulain is the first to get to Mini Moldorn Cave, it looks like.
Yep. And with the Ice Rod and the bombs, the Moldorn shouldn't pose that much of a problem.
Yeah, he's a pretty good attack power going on here with this fight here. Not a lot of trouble for him at all.
Smooth.
Very nice. And we have a piece of heart, 20 bucks. A lot of money.
And there's the bow. There's the bow.
Jem picks up his boots from the chicken hut. And ETM is using a sign to take out one of the guards. Very, very convenient strategy to pick up a sign. ETM now just realized that the bombs are on the tree pole and probably regrets picking up some of his bombs from bushes now.
Doesn't take that much time. It's better than buying them from the shop and then finding out they're on the tree pole.
Library has even more explosives. I don't think we'll be stopping in there today after this initial check.
Probably not. Let's see what the race game has for us today. Looks like it might have been just a bunch of arrows.
I think we saw ETM check that out. Mirror.
Oh, the mirror.
Wade found the mirror. But ETM found the race game earlier. I don't think he went back for it, so it looks like it was not something very useful.
Yeah.
And that mirror was in the Ice Rod Cave, so runners will need to get to the Ice Rod Cave if they want that mirror.
Jim making the early bonk rocks check, which is one of those locations that often gets abandoned. In this case, it would have been a good idea to abandon it.
Yeah, $5 isn't really worth it when you already have a nice amount of money available. We already have 360 rupees sitting on Dwayne's screen, so Zora not quite in play, but very, very well could be in play soon.
Yep, Jim gonna check the back of Escape. There's 3 chests there that, again, often get passed up, which can hurt you. I've seen vital items be in there before, and the runners just don't go back for it. But it looks like that won't be the case in the seed.
Dwayne is meanwhile at the back of Sarashala's hut. There's a sword.
Finding the first
And
sword
more
and
arrows.
blue mail.
Very nice. So we do, of course, need at least 2 swords to be able to finish the game. So there's one of the 2 swords right there. Blue mail is more of a convenient, nice-to-have thing, especially in later on in places like Turtle Rock where things do a lot of damage.
Yep. Jim making the play to the witch's hut. Let's see if he turns in the mushroom. He's probably going to. He might hard reset here. I don't know the last time he saved, but he might hard reset to check.
I'm not sure if he picked up very many useful items in the last little bit, so he very well could hard reset. We will see.
I would take that hook shot. I'd take that hook shot any day over the powder check.
I don't think he's going to hard reset that. As I thought, the witch does come into play early. Moon Pearl for the question chat was located in the bottom of the well.
Jim was setting up the fake whoopers. I couldn't figure out what he was doing up there.
So a few key items already found. We found the bow in Mini Moldworm Cave, the mirror in Ice Rod Cave, hook shot in the Witch's Hut, and trying to think what the last item was. Moon Pearl on the bottom of the well.
And boots in the Chicken Hut, which is may or may not be required, but it's always certainly nice to have. Buin being our first one to dip into a dungeon, and with the bow he does have the ability to complete it, but without the lamp it's not in logic.
Finds another heart container on the way through, and now heading into the big chest room. There's a hint. I missed that hint. Something about a bottle.
A bottle held by someone friendly. That's a new feature in version 30 of the randomizer. The telepathic hint tiles that normally in the vanilla game have Sahasrara telling you various tips about the dungeons and whatever, now have clues about where items may be held.
Of course, there's no guarantee that the clue will be useful to the individual reader of the clue. They may be something they've already found, or it may be something useful hinting at something in a later dungeon.
Correct.
Jem picks up his bow meanwhile.
Guy in chat telling us that someone friendly just basically means that an NPC is holding it. So it could be the bottle kid, could be the hobo under the bridge, what have you.
Wouldn't it be ironic if the sick kid has a bottle?
Buin made his way through the dark rooms with consummate ease, and he's now going to go complete the Armos Knights.
Very nice to get the bow early. You can knock this dungeon out of the way and see if the Armos Knights are holding an item, which in this early in the seed and with the bow already available, it's very possible they could be.
Now, with those boots in hand, if Trenter can get 500 rupees or can think that he can get it with the boots and Moon Pearl, actually, that's what we're likely to see here. Trenter opened up the rock, which is going to lead him to a rupee hoard. With the boots, he can actually set up a water walk glitch and use that to get to Zora pretty easily.
Jem and Trent have both picked up their mirror, or Trent is Well, I think he got the mirror. Now he's just trying to kill himself, which isn't working very well.
Nope. He
Um,
dashing at the edge of the pit there will activate arm and charge a water walk.
Meanwhile, I didn't note, I wasn't counting the items on Eastern Palace, but the Armor Knights simply had a burrito, so we just took their lunch basically.
They weren't eating it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, we have a water walk from ATM.
Etium water walking as well. Nice. Ooh, he forgot that he couldn't store it through a waterfall with how he set it up.
Yeah, that's going to be a little unfortunate.
That's gonna hurt him a little bit. Simple Fire Dog asking about the no logic option in the randomizer. Basically, that means that the usual logic that defends the items that says that you can't put, say, the lamp behind a dark room. In a no logic randomizer, the lamp can be behind a dark room if it wants to be, and you just have to know the various glitches to get through.
And I missed what was on Spectral Rock, but we are seeing that Gem is finding 10 arrow, or must be an arrow upgrade. He's picking up the arrows there. Some cache is in Mimic Cave, according to the hint tile there.
Yep, which means we're probably not going to see the Mimic Cave, which is good because it's kind of out of the way. And actually, in version 30 of the randomizer, the arrow upgrades are no longer distributed in the item pools. The Waterfall of Wishing, which is where you get the arrow and bomb capacity upgrades to the vanilla game, now are hosting the upgrades once again.
Wayne just found the boots and the chicken high. I'm betting we just went to Kakariko first now.
Probably. We got Magic Powder on the Zora ledge and Pizza Heart from the Big Fish himself.
Not worth $500.
Edom is having no luck with these water walks today.
He gives up and saves and quits.
He's probably going to want to go back to Zora Ledge at some point to get it. But he's going to either have to wait till he gets to Flippers or learn the stored water walk to fake Flippers. Which is possible. It involves arming a water walk in the Ice Rod Cave and then not using the water walk, but executing the fake Flipper glitch on South Shore.
I actually missed what was on the ledge. Did you see what was on the ledge above
Powder.
the waterfall? Powder, okay.
Viewing closing loop in Kakariko and picking up the power gloves.
Okay, this is our first look at the 7 chest cave. Gem is now getting a look at a piece of heart and the red boomerang, the leg ring, I believe, as some people in the community like to call it.
Mm-hmm. Because it throws off sparkles when you throw it and just introduces a ton of lag.
And we're going to see what the 5 chests back here are. As soon as these Moldorms get out of the way, they stop them from using the switch appropriately. And we have a single green rupee, another heart, the other boomerang, both boomerangs in this area. Bottle of goo, and $300. Not the most useful cave.
Well, I mean, the money is always handy, and the potion is somewhat useful, I guess.
Potion is probably the best time to come out of that cave, since knowing what we know that King Zora doesn't have anything of value. And Gem probably will check that later.
Let's see. The current items that we have, Eastern Palace is probably the best play because it is a green pendant, meaning that you get a bonus item out of Sahasrara.
Actually, Wayne already picked that up, and I didn't catch where that was. Perhaps Chat can help us out with if Sarasala had anything of useful. It looks like it was a bottle, according to Chat.
Hearing from our trackers that Sahasrara had a bottle.
Speaking of our trackers, thank you to our trackers, Dimensive and Math Girl, behind the scenes today.
And the Fire Rod's a Spiral Cave. Now, with those rods in hand, Turtle Rock is definitely completable. But we don't know if it's going to be required. It could be a pendant. Feeling of it to pick up his hook shot. But I was saying, with the items that we have, what dungeon does that suggest to you?
Well, before I answer that, I just realized that clue that a bottle is held by someone friendly. Now we know who that someone friendly is. That was the wise old man. As for the dungeons, I would say with the mirror and the pearl in hand, Tower of Hera is calling, though it is a red pendant. I don't know if the runners will want to go there, but it is very possible that could be where some progression could be.
Not only that, it's currently out of logic. As you can see, Trenter is currently navigating a dark room, which the game will never. Which in this mode, the game will never require you to do. So anything Trenter finds is currently not. He's currently not supposed to have it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what ties that together later to where the lantern is located.
Or the flute. The flute would also put
correct
Tower of Hera in the logic.
There's the lantern in Hyrule Castle.
Hey, there we go. So Trenter should have it, but he doesn't.
And that would put Death Mountain completely into logic at this point.
Yep.
Well, at least the front part of it, not the back part of it. But actually, you know what? With the hook shot, the back part of Death Mountain in the light world is also available. We can't really get anywhere in the dark world yet without the Titan's Mitt.
Yep. We got blue pendants on the Skullwoods, Mr. Meyer, Swamp Palace, and Palace of Darkness. Turtle Rock does happen to be that final pendant. Called it. And red pendant in red crystal in Thieves Town. And Ice Palace. So that's an interesting spread we got.
Very interesting. And I think you said pendant was in Turtle Rock. That is a dungeon I hate to see a pendant on.
Why is that?
There's always something in Pendant Turtle Rock. At least that's what people say anyway.
What was that hint? I did not catch that. It looked like a pile of garbage. The Mizrameyer big key and a Mizrameyer key is Fire Rod lock inside Mizrameyer. That's an interesting hint.
Very interesting.
I did not know the hints could be that granular.
Yeah, some of the hints can get very specific. I don't have the actual page with all of the examples right now in front of me, but some of the hints can be very specific as to where something is and to help you out a little bit. Now, again, that is something that's new to the randomizer. It's really something that does help casual players getting into the game as well.
And we just saw our first garbage hint in Tower of Hera. The telepathy dial told Trenter to aim for the eyes of Goma, which is completely not helpful. But the silver arrows he just found were definitely helpful.
I'm glad that we're getting tips on how to play Zelda 1 here.
Or Ocarina of Time, maybe?
Maybe.
Have a little time travel here. Those silvers are a nice find to find in Tower of Hera.
And Trent is the first to take on Moldorm today. Gem should not be too far behind, also going up Tower of Hera.
And Trenter almost getting bullied off the ledge.
I think we've only seen one item, if I'm not mistaken, Tower here. It was a bundle of arrows in one of the chests in the earlier floor there. So if I'm mistaken, if this is not an item, we may have a basement visit going on here.
Silvers were found in Tower Hero.
Oh, silvers were found as well. That might be the arrows I was looking at. There's the key, so that could be leading to the basement.
Probably a junk item in the basement, which is good because currently it does not look like Trenter has the ability to open the basement. Or rather, yeah, because you need to light the torch.
The fire rod, that's true. Fire rod or lantern, he did not bring the lantern with him. So if there is something in the basement, that will be a costly item not to pick up earlier.
Keeping track of the number of items you can find in the dungeon can save you from doing unnecessary checks. Knowing that there are only 2 non-dungeon items you could pull out of Tower Hera has saved Trenter and Gem from making a dive into the basement, which just wastes time. And we still don't have overworld dark access without that hammer.
I'm actually starting to worry about where the second sword might be, because if we find that second sword, this could be an Agaseed.
Ooh,
I don't see a lot of dungeon access available outside of these 2 pendant dungeons.
I mean, Agina could have it.
Very possible. No
we haven't seen anybody go do that.
Right. Jeremy is going to check out the basement just to rule it out here, it looks like.
Ooh, I'm not sure about this play.
Maybe he just wants a coffee.
Well, I mean, he's certainly hitting a lot of buttons for going to get coffee. That's one of the glitches that you can do in the vanilla version of this game. If you are standing on top of the peg box as they go up, you'll be put into an invulnerability state, and the flying tiles cannot harm you.
So let's see what we have inside that chest right now. That chest contains a heart. So Trent is not going to be punished for... Trent, well, I already thought it might be an item, but it looks like Trent is not going to be punished for checking out the basement because he didn't have the lantern to do that check. But I guarantee you that's going to be bothering him for the rest of this game.
Probably. Trenter had to get his fire rod out of the spiral cave.
Our third runner looks like to pick that up.
Idiom, our last runner making the Death Mountain ascent.
Gem is also, it looks like he ran out of overworld options and is now doing the Eastern Palace. Unfortunately, not really a lot of use in here either.
Nope. He will get the bottle out of Sahasra, which is okay.
Has anyone checked Sick Kid yet?
No, we have not seen a Sick Kid check yet.
I think Trent's the only one who picked up the bottle from Sarasra.
Yep, so that's going to be something that Idiom and Gem are thinking about. But beyond that, we got Sick Kid, we got Agina. We don't have Aghanim yet. And we can't check the pyramid without going through Aghanim, or without going through Aghanim, because we don't have Dark World access yet.
There's a lot of useful items that can still be on them. For example, the Cave of Samaria, the hammer, the flute would give some more mobility to get to the desert, which not really needed right now, of course, because we can't go with the book anyway, but the book could get him into the desert.
Yeah, the book could get him into the desert. Not much else the book can do without the Master Sword. But I'm hearing from chat that we did see a Sick Kid check, but it didn't have anything.
Good to know.
So it looks like Agana's got the progression.
And whatever that progression is, if you can imagine, these runners do not want to see a sword or a cape there, because that would mean Aghanim is fully in logic.
Yes, indeed.
Which means we want to see it there.
Yes, we do. But I'm guessing it's gonna have some sort of Dark World access progression. So Hammer, Titan's Mitts.
Very well possible. I would say at this point, I can't think of anything left in the overworld that has not been checked that other than Agina, unless there's something I'm missing that Jack can fill us in on.
Agana could also have the book, yes, for Desert Palace access.
That'd be a very convenient place to get the book, actually.
Very
It's right next door.
So let's see. Looks like Trenter is gonna make the playthrough escape. I'm not sure he's gonna be rewarded for his trouble, but
no, the item back here I think was just a bundle of arrows, so I don't think there's anything back here.
Yep. Super Fire Dog in chat, they did check the forest. Forest had Bolt Coin and the Ice Rod.
Jem just got his bottle from Sorel. I'm pretty sure he's going to go to Kakariko and look at the sick kid now.
Yep.
There's the silver arrows for EDM. Nice not to have to do that bomb jump and tower here or there.
No, EDM bonks back across the gap, which I think you can do that in the vanilla game since you have the boots at this point. It's a nice little strat to save some time.
And there's the heart confirmed for Jem from the sick kid. So yeah, we can confirm that it was nothing useful now.
Quell and Ruffer, the bow was in the mini Moldorm cave.
We're getting a look at the desert ledge, just some money. So now we're gonna probably go see Agana at this point.
Yep, Buane and Trent are both making their way over to Agana. Let's see what he's got. It's got to be progression at this point.
Yeah, it has to be some sort of progression. What is Agana gonna have today? And in the chest, Agana provides the glove, the mitts.
There we go. There's
pickup ability.
Yep, and that's our Dark World access through Kakariko into the Village of Outcasts.
And that opens up, now that since they have the Fire Rod, that opens up 2 dungeons to be fully clearable. We do have Thieves Town, of course, inside the Village of Outcasts. We do have I can always forget the name, Skull Woods in the Lost Woods area where the overworld would be the Light World.
But it looks like Buane is going to access the Dark World off of the lower portion of Death Mountain and make his way up the east side.
I think this is an item count decision. He's looking to see how many items are on the Dark World. Has he actually done Death Mountain at all yet? Any of Death Mountain?
Dark Death Mountain? No, I don't believe so.
I mean, even the Light Death Mountain. Maybe if he hasn't done any of Death Mountain yet, he's looking at the item count, thinking there's a lot of items here, and that's the reason for this play. Of course, we know the Fire Rod. He did do the Fire Rod, so yeah, he did do Death Mountain earlier. He just wants to finish up the Death Mountain and see what the medallion is for Turtle Rock, I believe.
Yep, and pull the items out of Super Bunny.
Correct. Speaking of which, a useless Fisher-Price item and the swag net. ATM getting his coffee break. He's going to get his full heart from as a reward for his break. I didn't catch the medallion on that. Did you see what medallion is required on Turtle Rock?
I didn't. I will catch it on the restream. It is the Bolt Coin.
Ah, and I do see that is marked as well. The tracker on the top did mark the Bolt Coin on the tracker.
The Hookshot Cave.
The flute, nice.
Which actually puts Desert Palace and Mr. Meyer into play.
Things are opening up now. This is definitely not a linear seed. A lot of options available to the runners at this point.
Nope. And the reason it puts Desert Palace into play is because with the flute, the Titan's Minutes, and the mirror, you can actually get access up to the desert ledge without needing to go through the book access.
Correct. You can get in through the back door instead of the front door in that case.
And we got Buane checking King's Tomb, which just has bombs.
We're getting our first look at Skullwoods from Trent. He is picking up a key here, which will get him through that door right there.
Trenter is fairly well geared for a Mothula fight with the Fire Rod. He'll have a decent time, but that Fighter Sword is going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's not going to make the fight easy. Needless to say, you really want to have another sword when you go to Mothula.
Please rise for the Highland National Anthem.
And that's the Hyrulean National Anthem.
And with the flute, with the duck unlocked, Buane, what's he gonna do? Looks like he's making a play in the Village of Outcasts. And
it looks like Buane is going to head up.
Trenter.
Yep. Ooh, he almost got grabbed by the hand there.
Ooh, that was slick.
And he is going to go for the Mothula fight. So he does have the silver arrows. I wonder...
I don't think you can use the silver arrows against Moth.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, the fire snakes were blocking the door for a second there. This is going to be an interesting moth fight. But we got Eddie making his way over the desert to get the to get his Titan events off of Agana. He's gonna like seeing that.
Yeah, that's an item you want to see because that opens up a lot of progression, needless to say. He is checking the desert ledge as well, it looks like. Or no, yep, he did.
We are our first runner moving into Mothula.
Waiting out the hand. I actually have seen runners, and I think I've had it happen to me myself, where you fall into that pit. The hand comes down top of you, plucks you right out of that pit, puts you back at the entrance.
Yep, it's something that after it happens once, you make darn sure not to let it happen again.
My guess is it must happen to Trent at some point. Trent is using charged sword attacks. He does finish off Mothula. Very nicely done. And Mothula provides more explosives. But that is also our first crystal for Trentar. And he is the first runner to acquire any crystal in this seed at 33 minutes.
Yep.
Now, with that said, we do have additional runners running this race who are not on Restream today. We don't know how any of them are doing at this time compared to the 4 featured runners. Trent is just the first of the runners, and Wayne is now the second, also at 33.5 minutes, to pick up the crystal on our Restream today.
Yep, which puts it puts Buane and Trenter just about even in terms of progression, but Buane has the advantage of the flute.
Yeah, Buane does have the flute advantage for mobility around Hyrule. Trent has not gone to pick that up yet.
There's not been a has there been a Mr. Meyer medallion check? I
don't believe there has been. I haven't seen it.
It doesn't look like our trackers has caught it either.
And I didn't catch it, but it looks like Gem picked up the Master Sword in Desert Palace. There was a sword hidden right next to the sword, apparently.
Yeah, so that puts Aghanim in logic, but with Dark World access, they may not need it.
Yeah, it's at the point now that they now have enough dungeons available in the Dark World that Aghanim most likely won't be required. We won't know for sure until we see the hammer show up, at which point we'll have full access to the Dark World, I believe.
And we got the swirly coin on the bumper ledge. That's going to be interesting if Mr. Meyer ends up needing Bombos for access, because that would mean that the cape is required.
And we have not seen either of the other two medallions yet either, so those are still in play as well.
Jason, we did see people check Lumberjack Cave. I think it was a piece of heart, but I can't be positive because it was a really quick check.
We are getting a look at the King's Graveyard. There's a sword back there.
Oh, nice. And okay, I'm hearing that it was a shield on the Lumberjack Cave, not a piece of heart. The two, the bottom of the two items look the same.
And we're getting our first look at the Land Moles fight today. Gem is the first to do that.
With silver arrows, it's going to be absolutely trivial.
Yeah, this will be a piece of cake. Well, he missed a shot there. So we have to try again.
Yep, loose the arrow just a little too early, so he's off script.
There he goes.
But he converts it.
Meanwhile, we're getting a Village of Outcasts check, $5 in the C-shaped house.
And Trent checking Thieves Channel.
Gem gets his first crystal at 36 minutes.
This is going to be a very, very interesting blind fight. Because blind fight is actually one of the few fights in the game that's completely scripted. If you know what you're doing, blind will never give you trouble, because all blind requires 9 hits from any item that deals damage, except with the exception of bombs. And if you keep them on script, it's going to be easy peasy.
And Checkerboard Game just has a piece of heart today, so not worth the investment of time.
And
I didn't catch that entire hint.
It was a hint about boots, so it doesn't matter. Because all the runners have boots.
Ah.
And it does outright say the boots is with the chickens.
Yes, I caught that afterwards. Not seeing very many useful items in Thieves Town as yet.
No, but we do still have the basement to get to.
Crack and blind himself, unless we have dungeon items still at large here.
EDM realizing that no, he does not have the hammer, so he cannot use that access.
You shall not pass. And Gem is now joining the other runners in Thieves Town. So 3 runners are now going through Thieves Town at this time.
Yep, let's see if it ends up being worth it. So far, not really. And
that was Go ahead.
And that big chest is going to haunt our runners for a while, until they finish their item count.
Right, that was because the compass was there. We already saw the burrito out in the main rooms, so that big chest is going to be a bit of a nuisance on the minds of the runners at this time.
Yep, Schrodinger's chest. It's got an item, but you don't know what, and you can't get to it without the hammer.
Oh, one of my favorite blind lines. I hate insect puns. They really bug me. And Trent with a beautiful blind fight. Let's see what blind drops. Blind the flippers!
Blind drops the flippers.
They can now go water swimming, and that opens up, I believe at this point they have everything they need for Swamp Toss. They have the mirror, they have the flippers. I think they can get in there as well now.
And the hook shot.
Correct.
And we're receiving from Little Red Riding Hood that the big chest is locking its own key.
Correct. I did not see the big key, so I will confirm that that is the big key in the big chest.
And with the items they have in their possession, they also have access to Ice Palace.
I think the only thing they can't get into at this time, if I'm not mistaken, is Turtle Rock, and I believe Palace of Darkness as well, unless they can get around some other way.
I'm trying to think if you can actually get to Palace of Darkness using the flippers and hookshot from West Death Mountain off the Village Outcast entrance, but I can't remember if that's actually possible.
I know you can go to the west. I'm not sure if you can go to the east. It's I'm thinking you might be able to get off at the access point, and I think you can use the Titan's bit to pick up a rock on the way, if I'm not mistaken. So I think you can get down there. If I am thinking of that map segment correctly, that would allow the runners into all the all the crystal dungeons at this point. It's just Turtle Rock you can't get in. If there's something in Turtle Rock needed somewhere, that could be important.
And Trent are doing our first blacksmith check. Which gives us just some money.
Yep, not very useful item from the blacksmiths themselves, but they can go back to the Dark World. They can pick up that beautiful lunchbox that Gary has back there and take it back to him. We're getting with the... Go ahead, sorry.
I've just pulled up the Dark World map, and it looks like you can actually use the flippers to access East Dark World from the Kakariko entrance.
Ah, very nice.
You got a ledge, and then you got a ramp to get out near where the witch's hut would be.
Very nice. And we did get a look at the digging game. $300 in the digging game, it looks like, today. And E-Team is now going to go save the blacksmith. Bombs in K45. Crystal for Gem from Thieves Town. And we're going to get a look at Stumpy here as well from Trent, and it looks like Blaine is going to make the same check. They're going to be following each other in tandem for a moment here, it looks like. Piece of Heart from Stumpy. Both runners mirroring the Light World. I don't think... Well, one runner, Trent, when mirrored to the Light World, forgot he did not have the shovel. Wayne did not make that mistake and is continuing on with the lunchbox. And Gem is, while we're watching the other runners to see what's in the purple chest, we are seeing Gem going through Skull Woods. Purple chest has just a regular heart container.
Not going to turn it down, especially with just blue mail. You need all the health you can get.
And E-Team is now doing the purple chest path here. The hammer is
the
in Misery Mire. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's dirty.
I think Wayne is going to beeline to Misery Mire as soon as he finds those other medallions, but we have to find those medallions first.
Yeah, oh god. Bombos needs the cape, and we have no idea where Quake's at.
I wonder I'm trying to figure out which runner might have checked Misery Mire. You said it was a swirly coin, Bombos, if I'm not mistaken. There, we're getting a look at Hype Cave meanwhile.
I was saying swirly coin is up on the bumper ledge.
Oh, my mistake. So Hype Cave has a bottle, $40, the Cane of Samaria, and the Piece of Heart. Claymore, rate this Hype Cave.
5 out of 10. I mean, the Cane of Samaria is useful because you kind of need it for Misermeyer.
Yep, I would say probably agree with that rating.
And you definitely need it because the hammer is somewhere there, we just learned.
Correct, and it very well could be locked by the King of Samaria for all we know.
Oh, God. Don't even joke about that guy, my guy. He just said, Cape and TR.
Oh!
That would be nasty.
Sorry to
But
interrupt
it's
you.
the
We have
bulk coin.
Ether from Isri Meyer.
Ether from Misermeyer and Turtle Rock, so fortunately, those other medallions won't necessarily come into play.
And Blaine should have everything he needs to get the hammer now that he knows the hammer is in here. That was a very useful hint to find the hammer
hint.
here.
And he's the only runner who knows that hint right now.
Correct. No
Nobody else
other
has even
runner has checked that. So this proves that even top runners will check those hints because there could be some hint to where something is that someone else may have already found.
Mm-hmm. Trent going to East Death Mountain using the access to North of Ice Cave, or Ice Palace rather. And our first pyramid check, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the pyramid yet. And let's see what is on the pyramid this time today. Now, I'm just taking a look at our tracker here to see the 5-6 crystals are Thieves Town and
Ice Palace.
Looks like Ice Palace. So we can't check the Bobble Bowl area yet. What was that item? I missed it.
Red Rupee.
Ah, just money.
$20.
And Blaine is wandering through here looking for the hammer. He will find it in here because we know the hammer is in here.
Just a question of where, and you know, if we're unlucky, it's on Vitreous.
Yeah, that could be a bit nasty.
But with silver, it's not gonna be that big a problem.
Right. Well, we have a key, so it's not in that chest. We're getting our first look at catfish from Trentar, by the way. And the fish reaches up and coughs
As
up.
junk.
Nothing. Nothing.
And hammer might very well be our go mode item. It's not much more that's absolutely required.
Yeah, I can't think of a lot of other items that are needed here because we only need ether for both Turtle Rock if we were to have to go in there, and we obviously for Misery Mire because we're in there. King of Samaria, Camberna, both rods. We don't need the book at this point. Yeah, unless there's something on the pedestal. I don't think there is though because that would mean the hammer would be our go mode item, and there's the big key for Gwaine.
Yep. So
I think we can call this go mode.
Well, as soon as no mode really, because we know that the hammer is required.
Right.
Oh, apparently the tracker isn't behaving and Buane has the hammer.
I missed which chest that was in, so if he already has the hammer.
Gem with tempered sword. Tracker's just not behaving today, apparently.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes the tracker will have a little bit of a delay in updating. This is something that will resolve itself. The hammer is now lit up, so it did show up on the tracker eventually.
Yep.
So yeah, that is our go mode. Gwaine is not even 1 hour in, more like 48 minutes in. I think he's pretty much in go mode at this point.
With only 2 crystals too, so it's going to be just a mad dash through the rest of the dungeons.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of a very, well, I don't want to use the term jet seed, but a very fast seed today. And Gwaine just pokes all the eyeballs with an arrow, and they don't like the arrow apparently.
Nope. Very quick fight with silvers.
A little bit of money there, but we don't need that anymore at this point. Except to get into pod, $100 for the monkey to get into pod.
And if you were wondering what was going on with the fire rod shot that looked like it shouldn't have worked, that is something called the spooky action in a distance glitch, and it has to do with the ember shot from the fire rod overriding where the ember shot from the fire rod is written in the game's memory table, and you can overwrite that with the dust particles from the boots, which causes the fire rod shot to hit in a different place than it looks like it's hitting. It's useful a couple different places.
Trent just picked up his flute from the Hookshot Cave, and E-Team is now grabbing the $50 on the Desert Ledge, interestingly enough.
Interesting play.
And Gem is now heading towards Palace of Darkness. Now, you know that Palace of Darkness will not have anything useful because Wayne, of course, already has everything that's useful, and he hasn't been there yet. But we are going to get to see what is in there today.
Yep.
And that's $100 for our favorite contortionist, Kinky the Monkey, and Gem is now inside Palace of Darkness.
Big key right where it should be. And Buane gonna go beat up Land Mollis a little bit.
Again, the silver arrows should make that fight absolutely easy.
Yep.
Tranchar, meanwhile, frees the duck, and he now has mobile transportation. Straight to Misery Mire. I didn't see if he found the hint or not, but we know that this is the right play because the hammer is in here.
Yep, which is going to open up Ice Palace for him. Yep. Marka in chat, as far as we're aware, Buane is in go mode. I don't think there's anything else that we need.
Yeah, Wayne is in go mode at about 48 minutes with that hammer. He got that hint to the hammer being in Misery Mire, and needless to say, went to Mire to check, and sure enough, the only coin he had was the coin he needed to get inside, so he's literally in go mode this time.
Very clean line Mollis fight from Buane.
That was a 0 cycle, I want to say.
Yep. Completing Desert Palace. I want to say he goes to Pod next, but he could go Ice Palace.
Yeah, I want to say he goes to Pod as well. Now that he has a hammer, Pod is supposed to be the easiest of the remaining dungeons. Of course, being the first Dark World dungeon played in vanilla. So I could see he wanting to get that out of the way. But it looks like he's going to Swamp first.
Or using the access here, but if he's probably going to Swamp Palace, I would have used the access over by Palace of Darkness if I were to do POD. So it looks like he's doing Swamp.
Yeah, he is doing Swamp Palace first. I think Trent just got that sword hint that was next to the swords. The sword is in this room right here that Trent is now going into. This will be the... Well, we're going to find out in a second here. Nope, that's the key, actually. We are getting to see what's in the Mire Shed. A bunch of money and a bunch of bombs. Oh, and I'm being correct. The sword is on the torch, so it requires the boots to get off the torch.
Yep. And then the hint talks about above the graveyard ledge. So we got sword in Desert Palace, graveyard ledge, and I think the first sword was... I can't remember.
First sword, I'm trying to remember myself. It was the back of Sakura's hat, I believe.
Yeah.
With the blue mail. Oh, and the gold sword is still at large.
Watch it be in Gandalf's Tower.
And they probably will find it by accident, or it will just be a chest they don't need because they already found the big key.
Yep.
ATM is now heading towards Misery Mire, so he should soon find the hammer as well. Looks like Trent is doing Desert Palace on before Misery Mire, so he clearly did not get the hint about the hammer being in Misery Mire. Doing Desert Palace first.
Yep.
Or maybe he just prefers to do Desert Palace first.
If it were me, I probably would have done Misery Mire first, because with the mirrors, it's a quick hop.
Correct.
Oh, that was a
Another
nice
clean land moles fight. That was a very nice one. Ether Ledge, meanwhile, drops another bundle of currency.
Yeah, I guess Jim just wanted to see.
There's where the hammer is, on the first chest on the bridge.
There we go.
Trent, meanwhile, picks up his second crystal.
And I want to know, well, actually, no. You don't need the book, I don't think. You just need the Master Sword or above to pull from the tablet in randomizer mode.
Correct. You need the Master Sword, and you also have to, of course, have the correct... you have to have the book, sorry. You have to have the book as well. So it looks like he must have gotten the book somewhere if he was able to do that. Jem must have gotten the book out of Palace of Darkness, because I didn't see the items that came out of there. So if the book was in Palace of Darkness, that would explain why he was able to pull the Ether medallion, or that Ether tablet there.
Yeah, so we'll see. I didn't see Jem get the book, but apparently he has it. So
Wayne, meanwhile, picking up his fifth crystal, and he is now 2 away from going to fight the big... Well, going to Agham's Tower, rather, which precedes the Big Pig.
yep.
I should say Ganon's Tower, not Agham's Tower. I got Light World mixed up. And it looks like he's floating away, so it looks like he wants to do Palace of Darkness. No, he's going to the Ice Palace first. He's using that access point.
Yep, and then he's just gonna swim north when he's done with Ice Palace and slip right up into Pod.
Correct. And I don't think he's going to open very many chests in here. I think he has everything he needs. He shouldn't... I don't think he's going to go for the gold sword, so he should be very comfortable at this point with his position.
Yep, the difference between tempered and gold in terms of the number of attacks it takes to take down Ganon is nowhere near as significant as going from mastered to tempered.
ATM finding a chest or a hint rather, Mystery Mire about a heart container in a chest. I didn't catch what the second half of that hint said, but he has his big key now.
Requiring a specialist to unlock, that would be the lunchbox.
Ah, yes. And Jem is checking the Bombos medallion as well for us here, and Bombos kills the bat and gives them a heart container. Idiom picking up his latest. Idiom picking up his latest frozen food meal from the big chest in Misery Mire.
Had to think about that one for a second.
And Jem is going to check Hype Cave, so he's going to be picking up the, I believe it was the Cane of Samaria in here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. You ain't about to take down Cold Stare. Without the Bombos medallion, it's going to take him 8 fire rod shots to break the outer shell.
Yeah, that Bombos does speed up this fight without question. Oh, that was a beautiful fight from Wayne. Got all 3 eyes before they got out of the corner.
Yep,
that was gorgeous.
That's basically textbook.
Was that the cape? That was the cape from.
It was the cape from Cold Steer.
So he's definitely going to go to Palace of Darkness at this point. Turtle Rock is not required today. I guess we can forget what I said earlier. There's always something in Pen and Turtle Rock, because it's clearly not the case today.
Well, I mean, it could be the gold sword, but nothing required.
Yeah, we're not going to consider that as something in this case.
Yeah, I mean, with tempered sword and silvers, Ganon is... Well, I mean, Ganon's never free, but pretty close to it.
And Jem has picked up his hammer from Misery Mire as well now. So that means, if I'm looking at this correctly, I think that means all of our runners at this point, unless I'm missing something, are in go mode. Oh, the flippers for EDM. EDM does not have the flipper, so he is not in go mode yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where are those hanging out again? Those are on a boss somewhere, right?
Yeah, they were on one of the bosses. I want to say it was Blind that had those.
Yep. Trenter picking up their Master Sword.
I'm surprised he only has the Master Sword at this point. Everyone else is on the, well, 2 of our runners are on the Bacon Blade at this point. Oh, was that the Tempered?
Oh yeah, Trenter is going to the graveyard right now.
This will be the Tempered for him, yes.
I said Mastered because I'm dyslexic or something.
We won't explore that. And looking at what Blaine is picking up, there's a key there. So I don't think he has picked up the book yet, but of course he doesn't need the book. There, speaking of, there's the book. I don't think Trent is doing this for the witch check. He's doing this to buy potions. He's getting a blue, some blue goo from the witch.
Yeah. Always a good safety. And he's got the money for it.
Yeah, why not? If you have the balls, you have the cash, put it in the pocket. And now ETM has his Bacon Blade, so all 3 runners have the Tempered Sword at this point.
Yep.
All 4 runners, I should say.
Trenter about to make his way into Palace of Darkness as well.
And Wayne looks like he's happy enough with his situation to skip the left side there. Just going to get the keys in these 3 chests if they're not sure what the basement chests have in them, but at least there's 1 key in that chest. There's the big key, and that's enough for him. He's mirroring out.
Yep, now he's going to rush straight to the back and take down the Helmsor King.
Exactly. Jem, meanwhile, takes out the bundle of eyes. And that's the 4th crystal for Jem by our account, so he still needs Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, and Palace of Darkness.
Yep, which puts him in the 2nd place crystal-wise behind B-Lane.
Of our 4 restream runners, that's correct.
Correct.
And our other 2 runners both have 3 crystals each at this point. Trent is going through Palace of Darkness, I believe. And I actually... No, that's Steve's town that ETM is in. So he's finally going to get his flippers. He's going to be in go mode. Trent is, of course, going through Palace of Darkness. He's finding out the boots are with the chickens, which, thank you for telling us that about an hour later, game. We're getting a note from chat that Trenter apparently did finish something here. Gem has apparently cleared pod already as well, according to chat.
This tracker's just having an off day today. What is with this program?
Well, I can admit, having done tracking is a hard job. So if he has, we will eventually see that on our...
nothing against the trackers. I'm just complaining about the program itself being non-responsive.
Understood.
Nice.
Another nice fight from Blaine, and Blaine is the first of our restream runners to acquire all 7 of the crystals. That means that there is something, as he picks up a bundle of arrows, that we get to do here. We are not going to run the bot today because this is a daily race, but everyone pick a number from 1 to 22. That is the chest that you believe the big key is in Ganon Tower. As for myself, I am just going to say number 11 because always 11. What do you say today, Claymore?
I'm going to say number 7, which I think number 7 in usual routing is going to be the double fireball room.
I think that's number 8 by my count.
It's either number 7 or number 8. 50-50 chance.
If they do the 2 on the right side and then the torch counts, then there's 4 in the room to the north. So for number 7 is in that room to the north. Anyway, as we figure out math, ETM is doing the blind fight. He is now about to get his flippers, and he will be in go mode like the rest of our runners. Gem is taking out Helmastar King, and it looks like our chat might have been mistaken on that because he is fighting Helmastar King right now. He will now clear pod. And that is now the 5th crystal for Gem. He's 2 crystals away from Ganon's Tower, where Wayne is about to walk in.
And we got EDM making the Palace of Darkness play.
At this point, all our runners are just going to try to finish up as quickly as possible. They have everything they need at this point. Silver is taking Blade to go in later, so not really much to discuss.
Making his way up into the gauntlet.
And I lost my voice chat for a moment there, so I apologize for that. Blaine is indeed going through Ganon's tower. And because of the difficulty there, I missed what chest the big key was in.
Number 1, actually, on the torch.
The very first. Wow.
The very first.
Wow. So if you said number 1, congratulations, you win absolutely nothing. Pick up your prize from the ticket kiosk.
We don't actually have a ticket kiosk. It's just some guy in a chair.
Yeah, it qualifies.
Buane made quick work of land moles too.
E-Team is making his way through Palace of Darkness right now. Trent is looks like he is going into Swamp Palace.
And Gem about to head to Argus.
Argus. He's having trouble with the bugs there, it looks like.
Those bugs, they almost never give a good pattern. I almost never see a runner not get hit by that first one.
Yeah, they really bug me.
No.
And Buane is coming up on the Moldorm 2 fight, so let's see how the Moldorm 2 fight goes, if he will have any difficulty fighting the worm today.
I don't expect so.
Nah,
No.
This is Buane. I don't expect it with Buane. Oh, we got a great pattern there.
Yeah, that was trivial.
And we have 2 exploding bosses at the same time as Gem finishes off Argus. And he picks up his 6th crystal. He is just 1 Ice Palace away from Ganon's tower. Medium making his way through the harmless hallway.
And Buane entering the trigonometry boss.
Got a double there on the first shot. Another double and a blue ball. Oh, he only got 1 hit instead of 2 on that. They both hit at the same time.
Both at the same time, which unfortunately did cancel it out.
And he is now off to the Big Bacon.
Yep. Should be an easy fight for Buane. Runner of his caliber, not going to be a problem for him.
And look at this time, 1:12:50, 1:13, I should say. This is a really good time so far.
How do we like Ganon now? Well done, I'd say.
Yeah, that's typically how I prefer my bacon. And I just realized I was not on the SRL channel, so I'm going to load that up quickly and see if we can get our finishers in a moment here, too. So we are now on the 3rd phase. Buane is just finishing the 3rd phase of Ganon.
Yep.
And he is being told about the silvers, which, yes, you want to see them? Here they are. Have one.
Not getting the torch glitch, but it doesn't really matter.
Gonna try to set up a double here, and he gets
Got
it.
it.
And now
Nicely
he has.
done.
Now Buane has to survive one more thing: a very perilous journey across a 2-tile step.
I've seen runners fall here.
Me too. Will he make it? Yes,
He
he
makes it.
makes
Dwayne
it.
finishing in second place overall with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 36 seconds. Finishing
winner
behind
of the-
Cindy with a time of 1:13.
Yes, the winner of the race is Cindy, 1:13:46. So that's our first two winners today. We have had a couple of casualties. I'm not going to name who they are unless they reveal themselves. But we have had two runners who have given up already today. And we'll see if we can get Blaine in here for an interview. So as we see if we can get Wayne in here, we are looking at Jem fighting off the final boss, Cold Stare in the final dungeon boss, I should say. So Cold Stare in the Ice Palace. He's getting his 7th and final crystal and his cape to boot. And E-Team is now going through Ice Palace himself. Still has Swamp Palace to go as well. And it looks like Trent is also on his final Crystal Palace in Ice Palace as well. So all of our runners should be in Gans Tower very shortly.
Now Jim's gonna make his way right up Gannon's Tower. Let's see if he goes left first and pulls that key first out of the first torch.
And we are joined now by Dwayne, our second place finisher in the seed overall today. Congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Going well. So when you got that hint in the Swamp House Antechamber about where Hammer was, did you immediately decide that you were going to beeline to Meyer?
I was really upset because I was going to go there anyway. And then I was like, well, now everybody's going to think I just went there because of the hint. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking without Hammer still, there aren't many great places to go. I knew the big key in Meyer was on the left side, so it wasn't like I was passing up a quick Meyer dive. Then I got the cane right after that anyway. Kind of really, really, really likely to be the place I was going to go check out, even if I didn't get the hint. But it felt pretty great for about 10 seconds that, hey, I was going to be justified in going there. And then I got the cane, and it was like, well, now it's really the obvious place to go anyway. So kind of a roller coaster of emotions there for 60 seconds.
Yep.
Things were tightening up a little bit in the light world before we actually got things open up in the dark world with the Titans bit there. Were you starting to get concerned that an Agnum play might be required?
I was getting, obviously it's in your head when you're clearing out that much of the light world, but we still didn't even have, I didn't have Agnum access. Even when I was finishing up Hera, I basically said, all right, it's got to be either Zora or Agina. And if they give me a sword or if it gives me the cape, then I'm going to Aghanim. But still didn't even have access to it at that point. If you had done Agina early in this one, the time you could have put up in this seed would have been absurd.
Yeah, it would have been. Absolutely. I think a lot of runners don't like doing Agina because it is so out of the way. And I'm going to be honest with you, we had it figured out that if it was a sword or a cape, Aghanim was required. So we were kind of, at least I was kind of secretly hoping for that just for the sake of seeing it. But yeah, it turned out that as soon as the Titans bit came up there and then we started finding items right away in the Dark World, everything opened up right away. You were in go mode for 48 minutes, and that was that's considered almost, in my opinion, absolutely unbelievable time to be in go mode.
Yeah, I mean, if this had been an all-dungeon seed, this could have been the fastest all-dungeon seed known to man, because you just, there were just, everything you needed was basically right in front of you, except for those Titans myths. And I guess you definitely could have checked more things than I ended up checking. I guess getting the flute, going up Dark Death Mountain right after the myths, actually, I guess, was pretty good, considering it gave you the flute, and Then after finding the Kane, you were able to just basically go straight to where I knew Go Mode. Well, didn't know, but I was hoping Ether was the Meyer medallion. That's another nice treat this seed had. It had all of the makings of I'm going to have everything I need to complete the game except Meyer's going to be Bombos. And I'm going to have to go on this long hunt to find the cape, which is probably in Turtle Rock or something silly like that. So it was a real nice relief seeing Ether was what you needed, considering that was the only medallion we had.
We were wondering where the other medallions are. We actually have not seen on stream where the Bombos or the Quick medallion are located. Oh, we did? Where was Bombos?
Bumper Ledge.
Oh, well, yes, it was a bumper ledge, so we never actually picked it up, but we don't know where Quake is. And by the way, we just found where the gold sword was about a minute or a minute and a half ago. Jem picked it up on the right side of Ganon's tower before getting the big key.
Called
so the gold sword has been found.
And here I was feeling good about my straight to the torch play.
That was amazing.
I already had the hammer out, and I kind of like to do to Stalfos room and then mirror and do right side these days anyway. So this is the first time it's really worked out like that, where hey, it's just the big key right here. Normally, I think most players these days prefer the right side check. If they get a small key, go fully to the right side and then mirror and do the rest of the tower. But
yeah,
so it's a nice 60-second save. If it works out and it's there in those first 5 chests on the left, it saves you about 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, that's the strat I normally see people doing, is just dip the right side, and if you don't find a key, dip out into the left. It seems to be the accepted way to go nowadays.
Yeah, it used to be, I think that, and again, I wasn't around the very early days of the randomizer. I think I came on around version 26 myself. But I think that was around the time that play started to become normal. At that, like before that point, I believe runners mostly went left, if I'm not mistaken, just went straight left, and then went right if nothing on the left worked out. And with the amount of time it takes to check those first 2 chests on the right side, it almost makes sense to do those first 2 chests first.
Yeah, it's the safe. I'd say the in-meta play right now is definitely the safest GT route. Go right side. If it's in one of those first 2 chests, you're golden. You don't lose any time against anybody else. If you get a small key, you can check the right side. The only dangerous part I think about that is the potential to not get a small key in those first 2 chests, and then have the key be on the right side. So if you go left side first, do the Stalfos room, then go back to the right, you're at least guaranteed to be able to do those 4 chests. More often than not, it's going to lose you time versus somebody who's just doing the standard route, but you very rarely get really wrecked if you just do the 4 left side chests first, then do the right side, and then back to left. So it's kind of the lowest amount of variance. And when somebody showed me that route, I just started doing it all the time. And this is actually the first time it's ever paid off with big key on the torch, so that's nice. But usually I think the in-meta standard play that everybody else does is probably the best GT route.
Right, and I'm sure every runner has their own way they prefer to do that. And some will do full right side and complete that before even looking at the left side. So it really does depend on the runner in that case.
Yeah, and I still see some runners who just, even if they get a key in those first 2 chests right side, they still go left. They don't want to go right at all. So there's still that kind of older school GT style around. Plenty of runners do that too.
So as we are watching on the stream here, we do see Trentar now going through Ganon's tower. Jem is meanwhile creating some bacon.
It's only going to be marginally faster for Jem than it was for Puane with the gold sword.
But with that said, yeah, once again, congratulations. You had a great time on that seed, Wayne, 2nd place overall, and you had it was actually a joy to watch that today. We were actually trying to figure out, wait a second, are they in go mode now? It's not even an hour in. How are they in go mode? We were looking at the items, just making sure we didn't miss anything.
Always great to have a seed like this to remind you that it is possible to not have to spend, an hour and 45 minutes looking for something silly. So I'm sure the next 10 will be exactly what you don't want to see, but this one for now, I'll take it.
Yeah, this is a good seed for newer players, especially because everything just opens up right when you get to the Dark World. And hey, we want something. Here it is.
Can't complain about that.
Agreed.
And Jim putting the final touch in the pig.
And while we're looking at that, let's just catch up on finishes here. Salty Fry did finish in third place with the time 1:21:37. We have another forfeit. Again, I won't name them. Illuze 24 finished in fourth place with 1:24:27, and Gem is now across the bridge and at 1:24:46 in fifth place, and he should be hopefully joining us in a couple minutes as well.
And his comment in the race chat, Omega debated, kind of really says it all. Looks like Jim will be joining us in just a minute.
Meanwhile, Trenter is going through the Moldorm 2 fight and will be going across the gap with the hookshot very shortly. There it is. Skipping that last chest. Of course, there's not really anything he wants in there. He found the gold sword already. And E-Team is now opening up Gan's Tower, our final runner on stream to do so. And Trent is fighting Aghanim too. He gets the blue ball and
We
everyone
got
else got
Jim
there.
joining us. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, GG Brain.
So, Omega debated, huh?
Yep. This was fun. Question mark.
What about that? What about that big key location, huh?
Which one? You mean GT?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess pretty nice. Considering there were no keys on the right side.
That was too free. I mean, they gave you the boots right at the start of the seed and the chicken hut. That was a free big key.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty free seed too. If you just check the Agana.
Yep. We knew about 20-30 minutes in that Agina had something. We just didn't know what.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah, we were looking at the nightmare scenarios and saying, oh, I wonder if Aghanim has the cape. That would be a nice ploy to go to the Dark World through Aghanim.
Oh, Trinity needs to be really careful. He's only got 2 hearts left. He does have potions if he wants to use them.
Yes, Trent did make that stop and pick up a couple of balls of blue goo, so he does have the backup. He did use the cape for a little while there for some invincibility, and he is going to use the goo.
Yep.
So where did you, when was the time that you, I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question, actually. Oh, Eddie Team is going for the fairies in Gan's Tower, interestingly enough. Very interesting play. I forgot what I was going to ask now. As Trent finishes the Ganon fight, and he is going to be the third of our featured runners to cross the perilous bridge and attempt to claim the Triforce, and he does so. Just checking, we have a lot of additional finishers here. I will note that Trent finished in 11th place with a time of 1:28:49. Additional finishers include Hitsuyan 1337, Elminster, DKS, and Drakaris. I can't say that, to round out our top 10 today. And also Hutek in 6th place.
And we're joined by Trenter. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. GG everyone.
GG.
So what about that? Lift upgrade location in sitting in the Genus cave, huh?
Oh baby, I was so mad at that.
That was the thing, all right. And with the hammer sitting in mire, that was the one. That was the item that I identified was going to be our troll item, and I was almost right.
Very close, except we got a hint for it right next door in Swamp Palace, or was it Swamp? Yeah, the Light World version of Swamp Palace, I guess you could say.
No, it was the Dark World version of Swamp Palace, but before you drain the moat, you
I didn't catch which one it was.
right and pick up the hint tile.
Oh wow, yeah, I never went in there because Hammer, like I knew Hammer couldn't be in there since the flippers were blind. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's Hammerlock blind. Nothing is in Hammer is not in Swamp or Ice, so I don't check there. Little did I know.
Yeah, Blaine was our first runner to actually check that hint tile, and no, we had not seen the hammer at that point, so we figured at that point, well, he's going to beeline to Myra now because that's go mode, and we had to think about that again, as I was saying earlier. We had to think about whether that was actually go mode. Of course, the concern was that we didn't know what the coin was needed for Myra at that point as well.
And we still have no idea where Quake is.
Probably somewhere in GT.
Could be in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, could be.
And none of our featured runners checked Turtle Rock today. All four stayed away from there.
Can't really blame them. Turtle Rock is a dungeon you don't want to go into if you don't have to.
Exactly. There's a huge item count that can be a good gamble from that perspective, but nothing was there today. Look at that item count for Blaine. My goodness, 116 out of 216. That is a low item check.
116 with felt like 100 of those in the Light World.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. And Etium is now fighting Aghanim 2, and this is our last runner to do that fight today. And actually, now we are getting confirmation. I missed it on Wayne's side or in Jem's side earlier, but I'm seeing on Trent now that the Master Sword item, for anyone who loves Master Swords, is just a bunch of explosives. We're getting a little bit of a door musical from Etium here.
Let Etium play you the song of his people. Got another batch of finishers. We got Nidorific finishing in 12th with a time of 1 hour 29:59, just breaking the sub 130. Gus finishing in 13th with 1 hour 30 minutes 11 seconds. Marknificent finishing in 14th with 1 hour 31:19, and Cassidy Moen in 15th with a time of 1 hour 32 minutes 51 seconds.
We will see where Etium fills in on that in a moment here as he finishes. As he chugs down a bottle of blue Gatorade. And again, Ganem tells our runner that we go to the Tower of Hera, and yes, I did find the sword horse at Tower of Hera. Please enjoy some. as he does get the torch glitch. Not that it really matters at this point. Went for the triple, didn't get it on Ganon. Just one more hit should do it. Oh, he missed the shot.
Wow, I've never seen that. Just like, must have been a pixel or two too high.
Just off, it looks like. But he is nonetheless going to finish the fight. He is going to cross the bridge. And he is going to claim a place in our finishing group. And his finishing time, it looks like, is a 135.02 in 16th place, just behind Cassie Moen in 15th place, 132.51, which I think you might have mentioned earlier. And that is the last of our featured finishers to finish today, and we should have him in here shortly as well, I would imagine. He is speeding through the credits to get us his item count, looks like.
Yep. Gonna be interesting to see the item collection spread for our runners today.
Well, we see a 129 for Gem compared to the 116 for Wayne, so we will see what the other two come to. Etium might get to his before we get to see Trent's. Yep, he did speed through. It looks like we have a 133.16. 133, yep.
And Trenter with a collection rate of 119, just a hair above Buane. Pretty low seed.
Yeah, this is a pretty low item collection. Once you got to the dark world, you had to pretty much get almost everything in the light world rather. But once you got to the dark world, things just opened up. 2 dungeons opened up, then all of a sudden 2 more opened up, and like I said, Wayne was in go mode at 48 minutes, which is absolutely unbelievable.
Hey,
for
We
seed.
are joined by Etium. How are you doing today?
not too bad. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
All right. That was a pretty nice seed. That hint for the hammer was really helpful.
Like top 10 NA hints for Hammer there.
Yeah, you couldn't have gotten a better hint for the hammer. The only question at that point was, as soon as you saw that, you have that sudden dread. I only have 1 medallion. Am I going to be able to get in there?
Yeah. Lucky it was in there.
Yep.
Before I got the hammer, I think I went about 3 or 4 times. I went to places where I needed the hammer, and I forgot I didn't have it.
Very easy to forget you don't have that. Very, very easy item to forget about.
But other than that, I think it was a pretty decent run. It's like it was at 135. That's like 2 minutes off my PB, so that's pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I guess I made dives into Eastern and Hera early on, which turned up nothing, so that was probably my biggest time loss, I guess.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say Hera came up with nothing. You did pull the silvers out of it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Oops, sorry. But I mean, yeah, it was a pretty nice seed. I'm not surprised there was a couple of sub 120s.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a very fast seed today.
What about that
Go on.
Ganon Tower key location?
Yeah, that was nice. Oh, that was my second seed in a row where it was there. Last seed I played yesterday. Same thing.
It's always nice to get out of the way early. Then you don't have to waste your time getting all those useless items around the bottom floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I already had. Well, I got gold sword in the first chest. I already had silvers. I had blue mail. Lots of health. I was pretty good to go.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice seed in terms of health and everything else, as you noted. Just looking at the inflection race, we had like the 116 for Blaine. I think you were on the high end for our stream, for our featured streamers for 133. But still, that's a very, very low item count. Well, we've had seeds where we see like 190 up there, and it's just you have to check everything.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that was
So-
overall pretty nice seed. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I didn't want to interrupt you. I apologize. So I just
no.
wanted to get some closing. I just wanted to get some closing thoughts from each of our featured runners. Any closing thoughts about the seed today?
Not really. Just that one hint really helped a lot. That was the theme of the whole seed, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. You could have had Hammer and Turtle Rock possibly, which would have been horrible.
Hammer and Turtle Rock?
Yeah, it would have been. No, wait, you couldn't have.
You can't do Hammer and Troll Rock.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
It could have
Yeah,
been an
I've
Ice
done that
Palace.
too.
Ice Palace or Thieves Town would have been nice and trolly. Or Pod, even. I mean, Misery Mire is pretty trolly as it is, except for that hint.
Yep.
And I'll just again ask for Brain Gem, Trent, any last thoughts from you on the seed before we wrap up today?
Yeah, just more seeds like this, please.
Like the seed was pretty fair. That could be can I please get something else as Hammer go more? I'm annoyed seeing that in the East.
Yeah, that was definitely a very fast seed today, and I know we are going to have another chance to hopefully have a fast seed like this tonight at 9 o'clock. That will be a standard mode race that we have tonight at 9 o'clock, so they will have to go through Hyrule Castle and rescue the girl before they can do everything like they did today. So I'm just going to take a quick look ahead at the schedule here to see what's coming up today. And it looks like we do have a couple races on right now. Shovel Knight is going on Speed Gaming 2 right now. Portal is going to be leading into Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. That just started yesterday. It is more of a scoring competition than a race. Very interesting to check out. It is a randomizer for Paper Mario. And the highest score wins. So that might be something worth checking out on the main channel at 4 o'clock. And we do also have more Portal, more Paper Mario later, and some Zelda 1 randomizers this evening as well. I'm actually going to be on the call for that one tonight as well at 9 o'clock on Speed Gaming, the main channel. So with that said, any closing thoughts from you, Claymore?
Not really about the seed. I just want to say that if you like what you see, make sure to follow all the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming through Speed Gaming 6, and make sure to follow our runners and our trackers. And if you want to see more, there's always stuff going on. Just check the schedule. Make sure you're around.
And there are all the links in chat there. And yes, anyone I'm sure in our group today will be happy to have any company anytime they're on. So definitely feel free to check out all these wonderful people out. And obviously some of the very talented racers here today, and some of the ones that are not on our stream today who will be featured tonight and other races as well. Feel free to check them all out. And we feature a lot of great talent here. So you're never going to run out of options for people to watch doing any kind of speed running or anything like that here. So with that said, I think it's a good time we wrap this up here. I want to thank all of our runners today, and you, Claymore, and Math Girl, and Dimensive on the tracking. I did a great job, and yeah, we do have had technical difficulty, but that will happen. So with that said, we look forward to seeing you all tonight. The daily race for the standard mode race will be on Speed Gaming 3 at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And we look forward to having you then. For Claymore, this is Cyclone GU. Have a great afternoon.
Have a good one, you guys.